welcome back to Tony's Top Tips Workshop. It's a nice sunny day here today, so and due to one of my subscribers pointing out something to me with the fourth axis for the Sainsmart 4040, I thought I'd better make a video here. And what it is in the videos that I did about the fourth axis, the rotary chuck, I mentioned that the jaws, which are here, are reversible. Well, I came to a problem with mine, and I thought, no, they're not reversible. I got to a certain point opening these jaws up where I thought it's not going to go any further, and I didn't put any too much pressure on it in case it broke one of the lugs off that actually run in the grooves on the back part of this chuck. And I thought, nah, it mustn't be reversible. Anyway, obviously a gentleman on the one of my subscribers mentioned, he said, what problem, because he's just ordered his. He hadn't got it yet to actually test it out for me. He said, what problems did you run into? So I explained that when you're moving, and there's quite a bit of leverage with those two on the chuck, when you're making when you're opening it up, it got to a certain point where I just didn't put any more pressure on it. It was solid. So he said this should be reversible. Mostly, chucks you can turn the jaws in other way. That's why they're stepped. I thought, yeah, he's right. It should be reversible. And I thought, well, I'm going to have a go. And he seemed pretty confident, it lad. So, and this is what I'm saying about YouTube and everything. There's always somebody that will help. Now, I didn't particularly find it as a problem because I weren't going to reverse it. I just left it. I thought it must be coming up against a stop. So anyway, what happened was I thought I'll put a bit of fine oil, lubricate, a bit of WD just down the back of the chuck, just to ease it. So, but what I'll do is I'll take it over to bench where the jaw is, and I'll show you. I'm going to show you why it wouldn't open up, and then how to reverse it, so you can put the chuck in, and what you must do. Okay, so I'll take you over there now. Right, we're over here at bench now. This is the rotary chuck, and I was telling you that when I moved it to the maximum, which is about there, it wouldn't move any further, probably a little bit more. I couldn't get it, even with these two keys. When you put them in and you do, and believe me, it was quite forceful. Anyway, what I did was I lubricated it, and then I moved it backwards and forwards. It took me about good 5 minutes. I moved it, and it kept going a bit further and a bit further, and then suddenly it moved. And when I took let me take the chuck out, one of the jaws out. That's it. That's number 3 out. That's number 4 out. Now number 4 was the first one to come out. Okay, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's a notch there. See that part there? You can just see that. I'll move it. I'll lift thing up a bit closer. you can see that curved bit there. You'll see that. If that's over here where the actual jaws are, it will not come out. So that has to go past. Okay, so we've got 4 came out first, it was just stuck on end, and then 3. Now what came out was, what was stopping it is, oh, you can see that I have another piece somewhere on the bench, I've just lost it off. 2 pieces of aluminium swarf, and that was in number 4 chuck. There it is, I'll show you. That was in somewhere in there. Can you see? It were in number 4 jaw, sorry, not number 4 chuck. It were in number 4 jaw. And that's, I could just see where it was, why it was stuck on the last one, and it wouldn't allow me to go past in order to get that. Eventually I worked it, and I must have worked it loose. So hence they come out. Now what I've done is, you do not necessarily to do that on yours, but on mine I'll just take all the jaws out. You've got to rock it back and forwards a bit. It's a little bit on the, it's not ultra smooth. That's number 2, and that's number 1. You see? Can you see that? If that little knurled part there, you can see that, that goes, when you put your jaw back in like that, it actually, and it comes past the other side. It's a bit difficult to show, but I hope you can see it. So that won't come out now, because that curved part is on this side. It's hooked it, that tooth, in. Okay, but if I just rotate it like that, that'll come out. So again, that'll go in there, that'll go out, pass, that'll come out. Okay, there we are. That's number 1 out. Now what I've done with mine is, you don't necessarily have to do it, but I've put a centre punch on every there. So that's number 1, number 2, number 3, all the way around number 4. Now I did it just in case that one of the jaws was slightly machined differently, so that I knew that when I put them back in, they're going to be right. But, and there's a sequence to doing this. I'll tell you what it is. When you take the jaws out, that was number 1, which was the last one that come out. Then what you've got to do is, that number 1, you must put, if you're going to reverse the jaws, so they come like that they come like that in the chuck. If you're going to reverse them like that, then what you must do is, where you took number, they're all numbered as well, each jaw is numbered. That's number 4, I don't know if you can see that, and that's number 1. So I've just taken that one out. So what you must do is put number 4 in where you took number 1 out. Okay, so we'll put that in there and we'll move it. Now in order to hook it in, looking from the front of the chuck, it's going clockwise. Okay, so you hook that one in. Okay, now that would be number 2, but obviously it's not number 2 that you're putting in, it's number 3, which is that one. You're just going in reverse order really, but you must remember that 4 must go in 1, or trust me, it won't work. So that goes in there. Let me get that in. That's it, that's hooked under. Now remember, be careful, because you don't want to trap it underneath. Right, so that's number 4, number 3. So now we have number 2. So number 2 goes in there. Okay, now you'll probably find out that you can't turn that right round because it's going to catch, because the teeth, or the jaws are all out. Okay, but number 1 is here. So then number 1 goes in there. Push it in till it gets in, and then just wind them all in, and you'll find out. And the proof of the pudding, right, you can see that proof of the pudding is as a centralise. Okay, now remember that you must put the whichever jaw you take out, the first one, it's like, how can I explain it to you? It's like when I go back now, that's why I punched them. Where number 1 was, you'll find number 4. That's number 1, number 4. As I say, I've only punched mine just so if you remember, number 4 was the first one we put in. So that number 4 is going to be the last one out again. Okay, so you go down to number 1, which is here, and you'll find that, keep turning it, and you'll find that, keep turning it, number 1 comes out first, and that's in number 4 jaw. Alright, keep turning it anti-clockwise, that'll be number 2, number 3, and number 4, which has come out of where we originally started, where number 1 was. Okay, now because what you've got to remember is I've only numbered them because I wanted to make sure each groove was machined. But so the last one you've taken out is 4 on the reverse chuck. Okay, so in order to get that back now, you would put number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So once you've put them back in, so you put number 1, I know number 1 is back in with me, it's just how I want to do it. I've marked it, they're all jaws are numbered, they're back in, so number 1's back in the position where it was when before I reversed them. Okay, so they're back in now, and then you just wind them up and make sure that they're central. Okay, so remember, wherever you take number 1 out of, you put number 4 in. So to get the jaws out, when you've the last one out, you will put in with the first one. Okay, so you know, I did some sprockets for somebody out of 12mm plywood. He was using for something he was making at home, and he said, "Can you do them for me?" I did them as a favour. I said, "Yeah, not a problem." So I just and all I did was, once I set the program out with the diameter of what he wanted, and then I did like a floating on with a V-bit, and it just went across each one, and they worked out absolutely spot on. And I hope that's helped on reversing the jaws. So quick recap. remember, if it's when you take the last one out, which will be number 1, okay, then you put number 4 where you've taken number 1 out, number 3, number 2 and number 1, okay. And then when you do it, you take obviously number 1 will come out, so you just put that back in to where you take number 4 out, and it works. I'm back around now. It's only a quick video. I just hope everybody's I've made it as pretty simple as possible. The jaws do reverse. As I recapped on that, when you take the last one out, which will be number 1, you put number 4 in its place and then do it that way, and they all have it off and on every time, and it works perfect. But the jaws are reversible. Okay, right, that's it for me and a short video. And as I say, and you know, let me know if you've had any problems yourself in the comments. And I thank the gentleman that my subscriber that you know, gave me the sense to persevere with it, and he was adamant that the jaws would reverse. And I pushed past the bit of jamming that there were, took a gamble, and it worked. And the jaws now reversible, so I have a bit more flexibility on that. And it's, you know, it's how we learn. I don't know everything about CNCs and laser engravers and this, so between the community we all learn, and that's what it's all about. To me, it's not making money or anything like that. It's picking up the knowledge from other people, and there's a vast amount of knowledge out there. So thank you to that gentleman. Like and subscribe. As I always say at the end of the video, you know, it helps me, and I also you know, get on my social media accounts now, people have started asking me for my videos, so I'll just put a link across as well so they can actually watch the video. And it's helped a few people on some of the forums, for the 4040 and Sainsmart forums. So as I always say, until next time, be safe, be careful, and bye for now.